right, so here's a quick chemo number 2, day 2 update. So it's Saturday, April 26th, and yeah, I feel really good. I had a nap this afternoon, but other than that, I'm good. I don't have a huge appetite, but still not bad. I had 2 Ensure, half a piece of toast with peanut butter, and I had for lunch. We went to the Rogue, and I ate 2 sausages, about half of my pan-fried potatoes, and about half of a feta and tomato omelet. So not bad, and I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna go make a stir fry. Yeah, so pretty good. Like we went out, we were at the mall for a while, went out to brunch, went out and set up the comedy club, which I didn't have any problem with, and then we just went to the tattoo expo and looked around. So yeah, overall feeling pretty good actually. No real nausea, just that not really wanting to eat thing. And like I said, I need a nap, but that's okay. So anyway, chemo day 2 going well. Hey, so this is Monday, April 28th, so it's day 4 of the second round of chemo for me. Yesterday kind of sucked. I kind of was like low level queasy all day. I'm really tired. I napped twice. But I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning and was like, now I'm up. I did eventually get back to sleep, but yeah, I'm feeling okay today. I did take a short nap. But I did get a couple things done around the house. It still feels really weird to like have no hair. But I got a couple things around the house done. I did vacuum just our living room kitchen area, but I was still finding like my hair on my daughter's feet this morning and just hair everywhere, and I was like, I need to get that out. That's just, it's gone now. And yeah, did some dishes, made lunch for myself, had a nap, got up, and then was like, oh, I look like crap. It's really weird not having hair. And so I did put on a tiny bit of makeup, just some mascara and a little bit of foundation, just, I don't know, trying to make myself look a little bit more normal. It's weird. Everyone's been great, but this will be really dorky, but I've had like the Daniel Tiger song, it's with a little help you can be brave stuck in my head every time I walk out the door. But everyone at my daughter's daycare, I almost said her name, but almost everyone at my daughter's daycare this morning was really great and nice and supportive and like saying I looked good, which was really nice. Yeah, so tonight is the Canadian election. Obviously this will not be up before, but dear God, I hoped you voted. I voted last week just because I didn't know how I'd be feeling today, just didn't want to risk it. So yeah, got my vote in last week, but I did want to stay up and watch it because we're election political nerds. And so that's part of why I took a nap today. I think I could have made it without one, but I really wanted to stay up and watch the election tonight. I probably won't make it all the way to BC, let's be honest, but who knows? I only have a counseling appointment tomorrow, so I can always nap after that. But yeah, feeling pretty good. The hair loss it's hard because now I don't have the constant reminder of the hair loss. Like I'm not just constantly touching my hair and it's going everywhere. Like this morning when I was leaving, I went into my purse and there was just a chunk of hair in there because it's just been, it'll fall out and I can't just like leave it where I am. So I don't have that anymore, but now I have a scratchy, itchy head. And it's so hard to know. Like, I really like this style of chemo cap. This one because it has an elastic in it. The other ones were not at all as Amazon described, 2 of them. Especially now that I don't have hair. I think they almost look better when I did have hair. So, you live, you learn. So I'll probably be buying a couple more of these because I'll need something easy. I'm not going to wear a wig every day. I do have an amazing friend who also performs as a drag queen who's helping me with wigs, which is just amazing. Has like an expert. But I'm not going to be wearing a wig every day. So anyway, it's gorgeous today. It's 21 degrees, so I'm wearing shorts and a tank top, which feels really nice. And yeah, gonna go pick up my daughter from daycare. I'm gonna run. I don't think I mentioned this, but I won $100 gift card for our local like meat shop for Victory, which is great. And it was actually like donate $2 for a ballot to support one of their employees who just got diagnosed with breast cancer. So I bought 2 ballots and happened to win, which is kind of great karma. So I have a $100 Victory Meat Market gift card. So I'm gonna go pick up some veggies and things. So I'm excited about that. So I think we're going to go there after I pick up my daughter. And then, yeah, just come home and wait until 8:30 our time when the polls close. And then start watching. I think Newfoundland comes in half an hour early, but I'm not sure what time their polls close. I think it's still 8:30. So we'll start watching then, and then just until I'm too tired, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's been okay. It's just I'm more tired. This cycle still isn't bad. But I have no mouth sores. I've had a tiny bit of ringing in my ears. It's happened 3 times, but every time while I'm yawning. So I'm not sure if it just got in my head that they asked that question the other day and it was something I hadn't really anticipated, or whether it's actually a new symptom. But yeah, still no mouth sores, which is great for day 4. Still doing the baking soda salt rinse. And yeah, I feel okay otherwise. Just, I would never even say I got nauseated. I'd just say I got queasy. Like, it was just a low level queasy. Didn't want to eat anything. Kelly picked up some muffins and croissants and kind of basic foods. That's been helpful. And this morning I just had like a tofu stir fry with rice and mushroom and broccoli. We're out of peppers, so. But that was good. Like, that was okay on my stomach. So I think I'm just going to buy some more things like that. And hopefully in a couple days I'll be feeling better. Tomorrow, yeah, I have a counseling appointment, so that's pretty easy. Wednesday, we have to go to St. John to meet the radiation oncologist. So that's a little bit of a harder day because I do have to travel, but I think it'll be fine. And then Sunday, I have my stepdaughter's baby shower. And then I work Monday. So I should be fine for all that, considering where I'm at now, as long as everything keeps going well. So anyway, that is the chemo cycle 2 day 4 update. All right, so I haven't filmed in a few days, so I guess I should. It is Thursday, May 1st, so I am day 7 past my second chemo. And yeah, it's been going okay. Day 3 to 5 were the worst, which was the same as the first chemo. This time it was a little worse, but not horrible. I still don't think I ever got to nauseated. It was just queasy constantly, and I just felt like I couldn't eat anything. So, Tuesday, I ate like a croissant and plain white rice and instant mashed potatoes. But at least I was getting something in, right? Like, I had an Ensure too, and I was eating strawberries and raspberries. For some reason, berries I'm really liking. But it was funny. So yesterday we went to St. John to meet my radiation oncologist, which was, good. It felt a little bit like, why are we having this meeting? Because it was like, even she did a physical exam and it's like, great, cool. I'm not going to have a boob next time you see me. So I don't quite understand. It was kind of encouraging. She was talking about my lymph nodes, and said, she seemed to be more of like, I don't think there's cancer in them, but I think we should treat them as there is, which was kind of nice. Like, she was like, the biopsy didn't find anything, even though it wasn't a great biopsy. And she said, they're just a little big on MRI, which is the same as what I've heard. And even when she felt, she was like, you can't feel anything there. And I said, no one's ever been able to feel anything in my lymph nodes. They're not feelable. It's just the MRI showed they were too big. So I really agreed with her. I really liked her and the nurse I met with. That, I'm 41. If I were 82, let's say, we'd be looking at making sure it was cured for 20 years, not 60. So, we might not be as aggressive, but for me, and I'm healthy, let's be as aggressive as possible. So, even that, she was like, I don't know if your lymph nodes need to be treated. I'm like, why not? Let's just do it. I'm quite happy. Maybe happy isn't the right word, but I'm quite comfortable with aggressive treatment, just to give me more of an insurance policy that it will hopefully go away. So that was nice. The nurse did say it will depend on surgery and just everything, but she said it may be as small as 3 weeks of treatment in St. John, which is great because I've been expecting it to be closer to 6 weeks. Now, she did say it may still be 6, but it may only be 3 or 4, which would be a lot nicer, just figuring out what I'm doing, kind of getting on with my life. I'm in this awkward spot now because I feel okay. And beyond those couple of days, I'm like, maybe I should start applying to jobs and like going back to work in, Chapters has been amazing. But looking at more of a long-term career. Again, I think Chapters will always be there and I will hopefully always go back at Christmas, and, it's an amazing job. Just retail isn't my passion. They've been amazing to me, but, I'd really love to get back into nonprofit or social service type work again. And they know that. So it's a really weird position right now because I feel okay. And I'm like, maybe I could start applying to jobs, but I have this like hanging over my head of like, but I'm going to need like, a month, 6 weeks off for surgery. And then I'm going to have to drive to St. John for radiation. And maybe chemo cycles 5 and 6 will really, really suck. Like, it's hard to know. So it's a bit of a balance right now, but I'm at the point where I'm like looking at jobs, but nothing, unless it's like, I haven't seen a dream job in a couple of weeks. It's hard because I did for the first few weeks of chemo and I was like, I should have, but it's so hard to know. You kind of have to put your whole life on hold. So anyway, so that's kind of where I am in figuring out what I'm doing with my life. It's a little hard. I completely agree that chemo first was the right choice, but it's kind of hard because I know surgery's coming and it's hard to apply for a job being like, hey, and I'm going to need all this time off and I'm going to need to drive to St. John. The other thing with St. John, it takes about an hour and 15 minutes to get to the hospital, at least. And it's tricky because I'm only going to be there for, 20 minutes to get set up in the bed and like 3 minutes of radiation. So it really messes with your schedule. And my understanding is they just kind of book it when they book it. And it's really hard because if they could book me first thing in the morning, I might be able to maintain a job because I could be back by like 10:30 in the morning. So it's difficult. We'll see. I'll definitely have that conversation with them. I mean, they, just seeing the waiting room there and my experience, I know, and just the stats, most people with cancer are older, and not that their lives aren't more important, just as important and all that, but if you are in your 70s or 80s, you might have more wiggle room with your schedule, right? Maybe less, maybe you have care workers and things going on, but I'm hoping that, I can at least have that conversation and see. Again, it may just be booking is hard, and I get that, but again, trying to look at it holistically. If my appointment is like 12:30, let's say, as a guess, just means I can't work, right? Like I can't really work anywhere other than the comedy club at night. Anyway, so nothing really new I learned in St. John, but it was nice at least to meet the radiation oncologist. And kind of weird, it was the first time we've ever left the city without my daughter. We both went, and so she was at daycare and she was fine and happy and didn't even know we left the city. But it was definitely weird to be away without her. So kind of going back to what I was saying. So this chemo cycle, day 1, pretty normal, fine, other than my daughter being sick. Day 2 was fine. I was a little tired, but overall fine. Day 3, 4, 5 was bad, and not horrible, not nearly as bad as I expected. When I kind of anticipated what chemo would be like, nothing like that, but still not fun. It was 3 days of queasy, and I'm not even tired. Like, fatigue is a different thing than tired. It was just like, I don't know, everything was draggy, and definitely having chemo brain. And chemo brain definitely stayed through day 6 yesterday. I noticed several times saying the wrong thing and being like, no, that's not what I meant. But yesterday when we got up, got my daughter to daycare, got ready to leave for St. John, I was like, you know what, I'm hungry. And I really hadn't been. I'd been forcing myself to eat for the few days before. I was like, no, I'm hungry. So we stopped at Tim Hortons and I got a breakfast wrap. with a hash brown on the side and a hash brown in it because they somehow like force farmer's wraps on you. We were like, no, I don't want a farmer's wrap. And there it was. If anyone can figure out what Tim Hortons is pushing farmer's wraps right now. I couldn't drink the coffee at all. Like coffee was nope, not happening. But then after my appointment, I was like, let's go to Pita Pit. And so I had a chicken pita with lots of veggies and ate that no problem and had some chips and was hungry. And then we got home and I was just starving. And I had some strawberries while Kelly was making tacos for dinner and ate it all and was just like, okay, I am starving today. And so that's why I'm not really worried. I know I'm losing weight for a couple days, but it's like bouncing back. And so I'm not, they asked yesterday at the radiation oncologist if I'm losing weight. And I'm like, I am for 3 days, but like then it's more of like a stomach flu type effect. It's going back up. So I'm not too worried about that. And they didn't seem to be, as long as my appetite was coming back within a couple days. And I was still drinking water, having Ensure, all those kind of things. So today, our daughter woke up at 6 a.m. She is not a morning child. I don't know what has gotten into her. She started going to bed a little easier. Before we would put her in bed at 8:30, and she would be up until 10:30, and it was crazy. Last night, she was in bed at like 8:10 and went right to sleep. And so at 6 a.m., she was like, it's light out. Let's go. Because blackout curtains don't seem to really exist. They don't work well. Any kind we have to let so much light in. So I got up with her at 6, and so I did go back to bed after I dropped her off at daycare, but I think that was more just I hadn't slept, enough. So I did sleep in and then got up and made, a tofu stir fry with veggies and rice and had a bowl of strawberries or raspberries afterwards. So, felt pretty good. I did have a coffee. This is the first day since day 2 that I've been able to stomach a coffee. And I am like a 4 coffee a day girl. So it's a little weird. Also, it's funny. I'm filming this and like I just brought out my makeup to do it and was like, oh, so I have like a mirror propped up behind it. It's a little bit distracting. But it's funny because I ended up doing it before I did my makeup, doing the video. But it's a nice day here. It's about 14 degrees and sunny. So my plan is to go pick up my daughter from daycare a bit. Not too early, but early-ish. It is like 4-ish almost, I think. So I'm going to pick her up and maybe go to a playground with her or take her to the library or do something kind of fun because it's a gorgeous day and I'm feeling well. Because, there were a few days there where she was coming home and it was just like, Daniel Tiger, Sesame Street, which one do you want? Because that was just what my energy level is. And, I don't want to be a parent that has TV on all the time, and neither does Kelly, but we also recognize that this is like a weird situation. And if we're living on Daniel Tiger and Sesame Street, that's okay right now. So now that I'm feeling better, I want to, do a bit more with her today. And we took her to Costco last night, which is like a playground to her. She loves Costco. And it's so cute because she like won't go in the cart generally now. She used to love a good cart. Now she doesn't. And she just like runs through the store with her arms out going, zoom. And it's really cute. So, she's adorable. She gets in the way everywhere. And like, thank God she's cute though, right? Like that's the saving grace of toddlers is that they're really cute, so even when they're being little hellions. So I'm going to do that, and then don't have anything else tonight. Tomorrow night and Saturday, I will be working at the club. It'll be the first time without hair. I'm hoping that I'm going to feel well enough emotionally to like wear my oncologist does my hair shirt and just like rock it either bald head or like a cap. I do have my wig, but I'm just like, it's more work and the chemo cap I can kind of like adjust on the fly and I don't mind if it's off. The wig, I just don't want it to look fake, right? Like I don't want it to look like, oh, that girl's trying. Anyway, so I am starting to get used to people like seeing my chemo cap. It hasn't been as bad as I expected. I was really worried there'd be a lot of like, oh, and there are some of those. But it hasn't been as bad as I expected, which is really really good. Um, you know, people in general have been nice, and it's been good at my daughter's daycare. The educators have been all really, really lovely and asking how I'm feeling about it. And like, when I arrived Monday morning, one of them just, yelled from the deck because I didn't get to talk to her and was just like, "You look beautiful." And I said, "Thank you." And it's nice talking to the other parents that they kind of had a heads up because I had included in her birthday invitation that if you're not feeling well, please don't come because I'm doing chemo. So they all kind of knew something's going on. So it's kind of nice that I can just go and like the other moms are still like, wow, toddlers, and not be treated like a cancer patient. That's the biggest part of losing my hair. And like it's hard to see, like there's a balding pattern definitely happening. So like there's still hair, but there's so much. And I'm finding like the other night, I was like, what the hell did Kelly track into bed? It felt like, I don't know, like sand or something. And so I like wiped off the bed and was like, that's so weird. Went back to sleep, and a couple hours later, it was like, why is there sand everywhere again? And then I realized it's probably my tiny little hairs falling out. I was blaming on him. But I think that's what it is, because again, this is so much easier for me because I'm not losing the chunks of hair like I was before, but the hairs are still coming out at the same rate out of my scalp. So I can definitely notice a difference with the balding pattern there. Even since the week since I did shave it. So anyway, so that is my update for today. Like I said, Friday, Saturday, I'm back at the comedy club, and Sunday, we have my stepdaughter's baby shower for her second little baby. So, that'll be really nice to go to. I probably will wear my wig for that just to look a little more normal. And I don't want I shouldn't be the spotlight of attention. I think the wig will make it a little easier for that. And then Monday back to work, and I work Monday, Friday next week, which is kind of good. Kind of hoping, if I'm still feeling well, that there's a couple extra shifts I can pick up next week, because I do feel pretty well and would rather keep active. And I don't think I have any appointments next week. So it's just so hard to know, right? Like it's really hard for an employer, even though mine has been super accommodating, but for them to know when they do the schedule 2 weeks in advance when my appointments are going to be. So they've been just great at managing that and have been so good anytime I say, I have this appointment, but it is hard. So hopefully next week, there'll be a couple extra shifts I might be able to pick up, because I am feeling pretty well. So anyway, that's my update. Bye. So since I did my little video before I did my makeup, this is how I'm leaving the house. So I did my makeup. My eyebrows and eyelashes haven't actually started coming out yet, but not having hair makes them look much lighter. So having mascara makes me feel a bit better. And yeah, I got a little sideburn thing happening here. But my little chemo beanie is cute. I really like this style. I'm going to try to get a few more of them. Anyway, that's how I look when I'm going out to pick up my daughter. Hey, so this is Wednesday, May 14th, so I do chemo again on Friday. I've been feeling really good. I actually told work to give me more hours because I feel fine, and 2 a week is not, I don't need that few. Yeah, so I'm just outside. My daughter's playing right now. And yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm a little nervous. I felt this way last time. The first chemo had like so many, was just so nerve-wracking. The sun's there. Because I didn't know what to expect. And the second one is just like, oh, I'm making myself sick for 3 days. And so that's kind of the weird part now, is that I know I feel fine. Bye. And on Friday, I'm going to go get some medication infused, and I'm going to feel like shit for 3 days. So it's really weird. So I'm hoping it'll be the same as has been. Friday, Saturday, fine. Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, bad. And then back to feeling pretty good on Wednesday. That's my hope. I'm hoping I feel well enough to travel to see my family on Thursday. That's the plan. But yeah, it's a weird anxiety right now of being like, I feel fine and I'm about to not feel fine. But this is the last round of FEC chemo. The next 3 will be the doxycycline. So it's kind of nice in that it's like, okay, this is actually like, You can open it. You can do it. The last one of this chemo, which is kind of nice, but also a little nerve-wracking because I don't know what the next one will be like. They say that the nausea and mouth sores are less bad with oxytocin, but I haven't had bad of either of those. They say the fatigue and the neuropathy in your hands and feet are worse. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, doing like feel fine, really. Right, kind of underneath my nails, right, kind of there. I get like little cuts, and I think everyone does. I do all the time, and they're really not healing just because I'm not healing as well. That my hands are dry, but I also work in a bookstore, so my hands are always dry, and I'm washing them a lot. So I got some new good cream, like not lotion, but actual cream that's a little thicker. Really, beyond that, and of course, the hair loss. So yeah, so my head is kind of epic right now. I have a brush, and I've been, you're okay. You remember how to do it. She's trying to get up the slide. You can do it. Put your foot in. So, yeah, the hair. So I got a little like scrubby brush type thing, and I'm kind of like scrubbing my head over the sink and watching all the hairs fall out, because at this point I'd just like to be bald, because then I wouldn't have to deal with the stubble. So I do have a couple actual like bald spots right now you can feel, and it's very weird feeling like just my very smooth skin there. Anyway, so that is my update. Tomorrow I have blood work at 11, and then at 1 o'clock I speak with one of the general practitioners in oncology just to double check that my blood work was good. Hopefully it is. And yeah, if all goes according to plan, Friday at 1 I will have my next chemo. Bye. Bye, sweetie. Okay, bye.